So, hello and welcome to my next chess video. This time I show you how to play against the caro-kann. The caro-kann arises after this moves, and here I recommend the move e5. And there are some sidelines with knight c5, the bot-winning variation of the caro-kann, but most people play the move bishop f5 here. And here I just recommend this stockfish approach to it, just by playing normal developing moves. And now, for example, knight d7, which is my main move, to prepare c5 maybe in some variations. And here I just recommend the move castles, and after h5 to prepare knight here, bishop back and knight there, which would be nice to get in for black. Here I recommend the move knight c3, and after knight h6, h3 to prevent any knight g4 jumps, bishop g6, and now the knight is ready to jump to f5, so now you should eliminate it. Rook takes, and now rook fe1. Note that bishop d3 immediately is not that great because of takes g5, and after knight e2, g4, and here you cannot take because of the takes knight here. Then the queen would land on this h4 square, threatens the knight, and here white would have to trade queens, and the remaining endgame is better for black because this knight here on h2, I can just show this, takes, new variation, takes, knight here, queen h4. The only move here is queen g3, and now just takes. You can also go knight takes, but the problem is this knight is very poorly placed and black has no problems there, so that's why I don't recommend this, because also if you don't take, if you play knight h2, then then g takes h3, queen takes h3, and queen to b6 attacks the b2 pawn, so b3, also maybe preparing c4 in some lines, castles queenside, knight f3, and bishop to d7. And in this position you see that, okay, white can get some c4 play, maybe open up the queenside somehow, but black is also fast here, also with some pressure against the d4 pawn. Currently it's defended twice, so it's not that big of a deal, but the open g file guarantees black some counterplay, and this pawn formation is very hard to crack. So that's why you should be able to take on g4 and not go for this open g file. So that's why I recommend the move rook fe1 instead of bishop to d3, and then rook fe7, blocking the queen's view to the h4 square. So now you can play bishop d3, and after bishop takes, queen takes, the move g4, you can go knight to e2, which I recommend. The knight in some variations is coming to f4, also it frees the c pawn, so this is nice. g4, now you take, attack the pawn, and there is no queen g4, so black has to go back with the rook, and now I'd recommend the move a4, and after c5 just play the move c3, and here I would recommend the move rook c8 for black, and after b3 the game between Deep Fritz 14 and Monarch 1.7 went with queen a5, which is a nice attempt to save the pawn, because after queen here the pawn on g4 is attacked. Now you take here on d4, pawn takes, and now queen to b4. And if knight takes pawn here, then knight takes b4 because the pawn is pinned, and also if the knight takes, the rook takes the queen. But you see this tactic occur in the game, but this is a nice nice Zwischenzug, let's say. Rook to the C file, and now rook c6. You can continue with that. Now knight takes, queen takes, rook takes, and now queen here check, queen to b8. This is very nice. King here defending the rook, takes, and queen takes. And finally, the monarch lost the game. Game continued with those moves here. I just show you, and this two connected or three connected passed pawns here on the queen side, which is soon to be two, are just winning the game for black, for white, of course. Here, Deep Fritz sacrificed the exchange, which is also nice. Here, if you take this, then b6, rook here, b7, bishop here, b8, rook takes, knight here, and yeah, this is lost, of course. So bishop d4 was played to prevent this pawns from advancing. Now the rook went back to cover the first rank, and now knight to c5, blocking the bishop's view to the b6 and a7 square. So very nice. So now you can just push the pawns to victory. And now here, even with this, it's just over, because here queens, and here I adjusted it as a win for Deep Fritz 14. So let's recap the opening a bit. So e4, I recommend this configuration of pieces. Now h5. Yeah, okay. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Ciao.